With that being said, let's jump into our lead story of the day with a stripper at a drag show stripping and receiving tips from children. Now, this drag show was catered to all ages. Now, when I show the clip in a moment, you might not actually get to see it because it might get taken down because of how obscene it is. And to just kind of walk you down what we've dealt with before here on the Bald Brad Show, just a few days ago, we showed how there was a drag show at a brewery for all ages as well, where a little girl was rubbing the crotch of a drag queen that was dressed as Ariel on stage. Yes, folks, you heard me correctly if you missed that episode. A little girl, very, very tiny, was rubbing the crotch of a drag queen that was dressed as Ariel. Then later on, that same little girl was found tipping a drag queen at this show as well. Now let's take a little bit of a walk down memory lane. There's been drag queens that have been performing at schools unbeknownst to administrators. And we're saying, wow, that's terrible. I can't believe they're getting away with that. They're dancing like strippers. And I said on the show, well, I can't believe that they're not just there tipping them. I mean, that's the next stage, right? Is having them dance and these kids are tipping them. Then like a month went by, a month or two. And then literally we get video from Libs of TikTok showing students tipping these drag queens at these high schools. And then I made the joke of like, well, the only thing that could be worse than this is literally them getting nude and then tipping. Here we are months later, and it's as if I'm a freaking prophet because we have that taking place right now, where literally there is children that are around this stage, and this drag queen, woman, male, I don't know what this is anymore, I can't tell, is stripping and receiving tips from children. An actual stripper at a drag queen show. Drag show queen, I don't know what the hell you call it. I don't watch this stuff for fun, but it is news and we got to talk about it because it just shows how progressive the left have gone, how so far left they've gone that they're willing to do this. You will see on the left-hand side of your screen a child with money, and there's also children spread out around the stage as well. I'm going to have to blur some of this because I don't want it to get taken off YouTube, but it might still get taken down anyways. Let's go ahead and roll it. That's what the progressive left is pushing. And you know what's crazy is you have a bunch of what I would imagine to be leftists and Democrats in the comment section on Libs of TikTok as well, talking about, oh, how is this worse than the top secret documents at Mar-a-Lago? I mean, that's where their mindset is at. On Trump having some paperwork left in his freaking drawer that was locked up in Mar-a-Lago compared to this type of behavior happening not just in breweries and not just performing centers, but literally in your high school, having your children taking their lunch money, that your hard-earned lunch money, and tipping some random dude that's dressing like a stripper and dancing like a stripper at a school unbeknownst to you. So that's where the left is at. They've gone so far left. This is the type of behavior that they want to allow your children to see. This is crazy how far we've gone. And I was literally making the joke that, oh, the worst thing they could do is literally strip, get naked, and receive tips from children. And they're literally doing it now. I mean, no longer is satire. We talked about Babylon Bee on the show before. They've even come out and said, look, some of the stuff that we were being satirical about and just joking has literally come to be real, to fruition. And now it's happening in my own life here. It is so crazy. It is so crazy the time we live in. And it's not just strippers. It's not just drag shows. But you also have, in Democrat-ran areas, people just looting places left and right. And this is getting like major news right now because there was I guess it's called Wawa store on the East Coast in Philadelphia. I guess it's very similar to like 7-Eleven mixed with like a Subway inside. Well, you have a large group of criminals just completely ransacking the store. And we got footage of this as well. Let's go ahead and roll it. I just want to pause it because for those that are listening, we do have people that listen on the podcast. Again, check out the podcast. Also, if you haven't subscribe here because this is why we need to get conservative thought and ideas out there to people, right? This is not a conservative thought. This is not a conservative action. This is not conservative ideals and values. Not by any means. This is Democrat. This is progressive left. There is literally a group of people, predominantly one race, if I'm just describing it here, predominantly black, ransacking a Wawa, throwing food everywhere. There's a lady twerking on top of a shelf, I presume. I can't see from this far away. And, you know, Black Lives Matter, folks. This is the stuff that Black Lives Matter pushes and wants, right? Defund the police as well. They want to get rid of the nuclear family. Where's Black Lives Matter coming out and denouncing this type of behavior? Where are they, you guys? Let me know. Leak me anywhere. Just because you have recently Chicago Mayor Lori Lightfoot saying, crime's not a problem in Chicago. You have Mayor Eric Adams literally yesterday saying that crime wasn't an issue. You had Peter Doocy ask the question if the president thinks large cities in America are safe, and Karine Jean-Pierre was saying that crime is complicated and all these other things, and basically dodged the question and wouldn't answer it, which is typical. So how is this behavior okay? And where's Black Lives Matter? Where's the Democrat Party on this? This is in a leftist-dominated area, folks. Philly. Happens all the time. Happens in Los Angeles as well, where I live. Leftist-dominated area, ran by Democrats, been ran by Democrats for freaking a long time. And this is what we have to put up with here because Democratic policies and the lack of policing results in this type of behavior. Was that a security guard that just walked by? Did anybody else catch that? I swear a security guard just walked by.
I'm walking out of here, bro. Are y'all making a sandwich or are y'all keep recording? It's gonna be a little while. Okay, but like.
So it's showing footage of the store just completely destroyed. Food everywhere, shelves broken. And now it looks like there's people scrapping, possibly outside, fighting. Acting like idiots. This is Democrat-ran cities for you, folks. And it's not just Philly. Again, it's Chicago, Washington, D.C., Seattle, Oregon, San Francisco. This is happening all over the United States. Democrats don't care because if they did, they would end it. And then you had that whole spiel yesterday when we were talking about crime with Peter Doocy and Karine Jean-Pierre, how she was trying to put it on the GOP that it's Republicans' fault because everything's the Republicans' fault now because you have the midterms coming up. It's unbelievable that people would still vote Democrat when you have Republicans going like this, like, we're not for it. Let's police it. Let's make sure this doesn't happen. But no. They're going to keep voting for Joe Biden. They're going to keep voting for Democrat mayors, Democrat senators, Democrat governors, the whole shebang so that their cities look like this. And they love it. They love it, apparently, folks. And if they don't love it, they'll still vote that crap in. And then they'll leave and go to the red states to vote the same stuff in to that red state. And then once that doesn't work out because they're tired of the crime, they can't freaking fathom that this is happening because of the policies and the people that they're electing. Then they go to the next red state. And it's just a snowball effect, folks. They want to destroy this country from the inside out by putting through the policies and having the values and idea that they hold, which is nutso, have this happen into the communities. And they can't see it. They honest to God, they can't see it. Speaking of making it a referendum on Republicans, you have Jen Psaki coming out and actually saying something truthful. She's come full circle and actually said a truthful thing. I know it took some time, but hell, we gotta give credit where credit is due. She said something that was correct, actually correct. All our minds should be blown. Hell, go play the lottery because it never happens. We must be striking rich here, folks, because she's gone full circle. In her phrase, I guess she would call it circle back. But hell, she said something truthful here about if the referendum's on Biden, the Democrats lose. If they can make the referendum on the GOP and the Republican Party, Republicans lose. Let's go ahead and play it.
If it is a referendum on the president, they will lose, and they know that. They also know that crime is a huge vulnerability for Democrats. I would say one of the biggest vulnerabilities.
Yeah, I would say so too, Jen. I would definitely say so too, and we just saw it because people are tired of the crime, and we just saw in the first segment the crime that they're doing. We just saw in the first segment that what the progressive left are allowing with these drag queens to be tipped by children, to allow children to rub their crotches. The other day, we just showed a teacher with fake, just exaggerated fake prosthetic breasts working in a school system, running a table saw. I mean, there's so many crazy things that the Democrats are doing. It's mind-blowing. But she said the right thing. If we can make the referendum on Republicans, and Democrats are going to win, which is why every time Peter Doocy asks a question, every time Jackie Henrich asks a question, every time Phil Wegman asks a question, what is Jen Psaki's spin on it? What is it going to be? Not Jen Psaki, forgive me. Karine Jean-Pierre, what's it going to be? It's going to be blaming GOP and Republicans for anything and everything, even if it has nothing to do with the question that was asked. And if you recall on yesterday's episode, she literally said, this is how we see the question. And I stated, then why even bother having the press in there anyways if you're just going to make up your own damn questions to everything? But that's what she's going to do because they know they need to spin everything and anything on the GOP. I hope you enjoyed that clip from the Bald Brad Show. If you did, make sure to hit that subscribe button so you can stay up to date on all our future content.